Hello, this is Sunshine Stamper, and today we are going to be working on some love/Valentine's Day themed cards using the Smitten stamp set from Close to My Heart. I have the Smitten stamp and thin cut set, so it includes the stamps, and then the images highlighted in blue have thin cuts, so you could die cut them out really quickly. So these are cards that I have made with the koala bear stamp. Made these earlier, and these backgrounds are made with the tissue bleeding technique. Then we've got some glitter paper in these. So now we're going to work on these little fans. So I think the first thing I need to do is figure out how we're going to construct our card. I think what we're going to do is, similar to the koala stamp, we are going to make a little background. And this is just my scrap bin. So this is where I put extra cut items. I have some photo mats in here. I have some stuff that I've stamped but not quite used yet. I kind of like the look on the square. Let's see what else we have in here. This is just, you know, a bunch of extra cut pieces. We have a bigger square here that we could cut down more if we wanted to. Keep those little guys out. These all have graphics on them. So keep those little guys out. And then I have some bigger squares here that we could cut down if needed, so we'll leave a couple of these out too. Then we'll put our scrap bin back off camera. So I think the sentiment I'm going to use is going to be, I'm your biggest fan. So let's look at our stamp and see how much room we're going to need. Try to do this. We could do it kind of off center. We use a bigger piece. We could do it down here, or we could do it up there. Not sure which one I like better. I would kind of like to do it like this and take that heart stamp and have it like blowing some hearts. Where's the hearts? Even though you can clearly see the fan is not plugged in, we're gonna maybe blow some hearts off of it. No. So we do it like this. We could pop that up a little. You know what, we're just gonna try it. Let's just try it. We have plenty of these little squares already cut. If we don't like it, we'll cut down some of the bigger squares and try again. Because what I'm thinking now is, we do this, we put on this on here, and then we'll take a gel pen and kind of doodle around the edge. And I think that'll look cute. So as you could tell, my videos are not professional quality. I don't go in with a script. I don't have a bunch of stuff already made that I'm just, you know, backtracking and showing you stuff after I made it. We are full-blown into the creative process here, and we are just gonna go through this, and we are gonna experiment together and hopefully make something that looks nice. So I am going to get out my little stamp board, Now earlier, when I made the koala cards, I went ahead and I heat embossed them. I think we're actually going to skip the heat embossing, and we're just going to do plain old stamping here. So it's a little quicker. And yeah, I think the heat embossing typically looks a little better, but I don't want to do it on every single card I make. So we'll put the I'm Your Biggest Fan here. You know, our other question that we should probably figure out now is, what color should we make our sentiment? So for backgrounds, these are what I have. I have some scraps here. You could probably hear my dog walking around in the background. Like I said, this is not a professional outlet. This is just my regular everyday craft room in my regular everyday house. We're not even gonna pretend to be fancy here. So I have all these that I could use. And instead of stamping in the plain black, let's see what colors we have that would look good. I have this lagoon. And we could do some wild berry. So you could tell I haven't even used these ink pads yet. These are brand new ink pads getting used for the first time, opening them up. Just got these in the mail this week. Took forever to get here, but eventually they got here. And now we could use them and be happy. So we have 3 little fans. I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna stamp 2 of these in each color. And then we'll figure out later which color is the leftover. Okay, that should be nice and inked. Hopefully I've got this lined up where you could see it on the camera. I can't even see my camera. My camera is actually my iPhone. Like I said, nothing fancy here. So I'm hoping it's lined up where you can see what I'm doing. All right, so there's our first one, and the lagoon. I like that. That looks pretty with our other stuff. Let's do our second one. Get this nice and inky. Here we go. Here's our second one. Oh, we got a little bit of extra ink. You know, we're gonna wipe off that extra ink and then we're gonna try again. I'm just gonna take a baby wipe. Try to grab one out. There we go. Get just this little bit of extra ink off here. And I drape my baby wipes over my trash can while I'm crafting, just so I don't get anything on my desk wet, because there have been many times where, you know, I'm using the baby wipes, I'm stamping, and then I put down a piece of paper, only to realize later I put that paper down right on top of a wet baby wipe, and now it's ruined and I can't use it anymore. So I've made a habit to drape the wet baby wipes over the trash can where they can't hurt anything. All right, let's get this nice and inked. You know what, we're gonna take, I lost my paper towel. Where did I put my paper towel? I need a new paper towel. You see this extra ink right here? Just wipe that off, make sure it doesn't get on anything. Push that down, there we go. There we go. No extra smudges on that one. We're all good. Yep. So I got this stamp set from Close to My Heart. They have 2 versions of the stamp set. You could buy it with or without the die cuts. I think with the die cuts it is, I want to say between $30 and $36. Without the die cuts, I believe it is like $18.95. So if you don't want the die cuts, you could save a bit of money by just buying the stamps. But I like the die cuts because it gives you a lot more flexibility with what you can use your stamps with. And you don't have to sit there and, you know, fussy cut it all out and take hours with the scissors. It always takes me forever to cut stuff out. I do have a Brother scan and print that I like to use, but again, even using the machine, it tends to take longer than it does just to run something through your die cut machine. Here's the first one like that. Let's ink up our second one. There we go. I feel like we should do a third, but we're not going to. We don't need to. So we're gonna put the ink away. And this is something I really like about the Close to My Heart ink pads. Magnetic closure. Look at that. I have pinched my fingers so many times on the Stampin' Up ones. No more pinching fingers. And then not only does it close like that, where did I put my other ink pad? Look at that. They stick together. Isn't that neat? It is so convenient. It makes it so easy just to set them aside, and they're not like falling all over the place, and they're nice and neat stuck together. That is my favorite thing about the Close to My Heart ink pads. I know I should probably be saying that it's the colors, but it's not. It's the way the ink pads actually function. These back on our little sheet here so we don't lose them. Put that back over there. Back down, and then I try to store the magnets not on the foam, because if I close this and I forget about it for a while, that magnet will leave a dent in the foam. And this is just foam from the inside of one of my stamp kits. It helps you get a really clear, clean impression each time if you tape a little bit of foam to your stamping platform. It's just one of those things that makes life easier. Okay, we're gonna put that away for now. I think that'll be cute. I really do. But what we're going to do next, I need to figure out where I put my clipboard, my scrap paper on it. Let's see, just a moment while I move a few things around over here. Try to figure out where my clipboard went. It's got to be here somewhere. I was just using it yesterday. Let's see. It seems to have disappeared on my desk somewhere, so oh, I found it. Okay, so for the doodling, I was not the biggest fan of doodling on stuff. I always thought my stuff looked sloppy until I started doing it in some of these Close to My Heart workshops, and then I started doing it, and now I actually kind of like the look quite a bit. So this is a very old pin. I got this from Archivers when Archivers was closing. That tells you how old this pin is. And then let's see, I have a piece of scrap paper here. Make sure my pin's working. And we're gonna practice on this one with a smudge first, because we won't be too sad if we ruin it. We're just gonna do. It doesn't have to be straight. Oh, and off the side there. Go that way. Now we're gonna do another one that kind of intersects a little. Oh, that looks really sloppy. I should not do that again. No, do not like that. Okay, so I think instead what we'll do is double lines, some little tick marks through it maybe. That look better? Yeah, I think our non-practice one, this is how we'll do it. Yeah, I like that. I do not like that. Good thing we practiced on a practice piece first, right? Okay, so now I'm gonna go slow. And I just find these little doodles, even though I wasn't the biggest fan at first, they really help break up like the white space. When you're using just plain colored cardstock, I did not intend to go just on the edge, but that's what we're doing now. It'll be fine. It's just a little doodle. But yeah, I like how it kind of breaks up what would be just extra white space on this card. Just makes it just a little bit interesting. A little more interesting, yeah. And I know my lines aren't the straightest and they're not even, but I don't care. It's just an extra little bit of whimsy. That's what we're gonna call it. It's whimsy. There. Do it there. 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 The gel smeared a little right there, but we're not going to worry about that. We're just going to set this aside and let the gel pen dry. This one, we're going to do a stitched edge instead. Just do it a little different. I don't go crazy trying to make them even. I'm just happy when they don't look like they're floating off into space. You know, I used to really obsess over little details and oh my god, how's that gonna look when it's finished? It's gonna look like it was done by a kindergartner. Oh my god, everybody's gonna notice this little mistake. And over time I've realized, first, nobody realizes the mistakes. Nobody sees that little thing that you were obsessing about, and you just spent a ton of time worrying about something that doesn't matter. Crafting should be fun. It shouldn't be something that stresses you out. So now I'm just more like, we're gonna roll with it. We're just gonna keep on going, and it's not gonna be perfect, but you know what? We're gonna have fun making it. We're gonna give it to someone, especially if it's a card, you give it to someone, they look at it, oh, it's so cute, thank you for thinking of me. And then ultimately, you know, these cards more than likely will end up in the trash. But it's all about making somebody feel good for a little bit. Making them smile, making their day a little better. And it does not make your day better if you sit there and stress out about being perfect. So, just gonna keep going. Keep going. Almost to the end. I always have trouble ending these because it's hard to make sure that you got enough space. Okay, so we'll put that one out to dry. And then we'll do one of each on these pink ones too. Even though we've only got 3 stamps, I'll set the extra one aside and I'll probably use it at some point in the future. So I'm gonna start with my line. Just trying my best to make it straight. wanders off into the horizon a little, but not a big deal. And you know what, we're gonna do double line on this side. There we go. Then we'll move to this side. Start with our bottom line. Ooh, that one's really off on its own, but it'll be okay. Oh, this one is close to the edge. Try to give this one a little more space. There we go. Turn it one more time, and let's do our last set of lines. Oh, that one is really close, and you could probably hear the door opening. That is Jerry getting home. All right, so we got those lines done. Our little marks here, and here, and here, and there. That one's a little wonky, but he'll be okay. We'll do those, and those. There we go. It just makes our card look a little different. It makes our little sentiment box kind of stand out from the background. I'm just doing our dashes on this one. Our little fake stitched line. I wish I had the talent to actually sew on cards and paper, but I do not. I will not even bring a sewing machine into my house because it would just be torture for the sewing machine. So here we go. Just gonna keep going. Got that little guy at the end. He's just doing his own thing. It's like he just jumped in at the last minute. Keep going. Just try to make these straight. Oh, I was worried I put my finger in the gel pen. That would be messy. There's the one thing about the gel pen. You have to be careful that you don't touch it when it's wet, or you can smudge it. There we go. Okay, we're going to set those off to dry. We're going to put our antique gel pen away. And then let's think about our card layout here. First, I'm going to grab one of these. I have a little thing over there where I keep like extra card parts. Let's see. This is kind of vanilla paper. I don't really want to use vanilla. So we're gonna fold some card bases real quick. Reaching across the camera there. Like I said, we're not professionals here. We're just having fun crafting. Our first card base. We're gonna make 3 of these. These are already pre-cut and pre-scored, so basically all we're doing is smushing down the score with our bone folder. The hard work's already done for us. And these bases right here are the pre-made bases by Close to My Heart, and I really like their white. It's a very crisp white, very pretty. Okay, so I've got this paper, and I've got this pretty blue sparkle paper, glitter paper. could do this. And then now on our last set of cards, are we recreating the same card with a different sentiment? Does it really matter? Is anybody going to care? Yeah, I know it's not exciting and new, but you know, I don't think anybody really is going to care that we've carried over the same card design. It's just so quick and easy to make this one. I think it looks nice. So yep, we're going to do the same design again. And I don't know, so should we do 2 of the lagoon or 2 of the raspberry? I really like the blue paper. Let's see. The wild berry is really pretty too. I think we're going to do 2 blue, 1 pink, just because I like that the blue is a little softer than the pink. So we're going to use both of our blues and our 1 pink. So now we're going to cut down some card bases here. Set this aside. I'm going to move some stuff around off camera. Actually, we need to decide if we're going to use any of these. So these were made with the bleeding tissue technique, which was really kind of frustrating and messy. I still have some ink in my hands from it. So we'll do 1 background like this. We'll do 1 like this. And then, you know what, I think we're going to use up. Maybe we'll do 1 like this. Kind of abstract-y down there. That's what we're going to go with. We're going to say that's abstract-y, not miscolored. Yeah, I actually kind of like that. So let's cut these up. So our regular card base is 5.5 by 4.25. So what we want to do is we're going to want to have an edge here. So we're going to cut this first. So if we go down from 4.25 and we go down 1/8 of an inch, I think that'll be good for this. I'm going to keep my scraps for later. So then we're going to go down 1/8 of an inch. I hope I'm counting these right. Yeah, that's 1/8 of an inch. So there's 8 of those little marks in each inch. Cut that. So we have our first mat. I'm going to do the same thing with this blue piece. We go down 1/8 of an inch. Oh, now I really hope I cut this one right. Did I cut that one right? Yeah. Okay, so now we need 1 more. So I'm gonna try to figure out where I put my sheet of glitter paper. Here we go. I'm gonna go down 1/8 of an inch, 4.25. And we're going to go down 1/8 of an inch from 5.5. Okay, so now we have 3 card bases, 2 blue, 1 pink. Now we need to measure our little squares. Our little squares are 3 by 3. So what we want is, we want this to be a little more than 3 by 3. This one is actually 3 1/8, it looks like. So if we cut this at 3 1/8, we should have a nice frame. So let's see if that worked. Yeah, look at that. We got a nice little frame. Okay, we need 1 more in the blue. see if we have a pink scrap big enough. And I think I do. So I'm going to cut off that end first. I'm going to flip it around. And I just realized you probably can't see what I'm doing. We'll keep those little scraps. Use those little scraps on something else. Okay, so now we will put that away. Actually, no, we won't put that away because we need to cut these mats next. So try to put this where you can see it better. Okay, so this first one. About 4 inches, so that's 1/4 of an inch down. So that means we'll go 1/4 of an inch down on this side too. I think, and then we'll look. Let's double check and make sure. Do we got a nice little mat here? Yes, we do. So there's one. And this one, I'm gonna go down to 4 inches. Here, we'll cut some of that white stuff off. And then on this side, we'll go down to have that rough edge there. 5 1/4 inch on this side. Here we go. We'll clean that up a little more later. So there's number 2. Which side do? Yeah, we'll cut this side, I think. 4 inches. By 5 1/4. I don't know. Should we cut? Let's cut off some of that purple. And this tissue bleeding technique. This was done on watercolor paper. That's why it's so interesting. It's got character. Okay, so now I think we're done with our cutting. Move all that stuff over. And then I don't know if this is the best way to do it, but sometimes when I get the rough edges like that, I just take my adhesive eraser and it's just enough to smooth out some of those rough edges a little. Alright, so hopefully at the end of this video, if we don't make any mistakes, we'll have 3 more cards to add to our Valentine's Day card pile. And hopefully they will all look nice and be presentable, and we won't have any major mistakes. I think we're past the part where we make major mistakes already, so get some of that extra off there. Try to get that as smooth as possible. There we go. All right, so now we're gonna start gluing stuff together. Let's figure out which pieces we want to use where. So I don't know, do we want to use that? Or do we want to use that on the blue? I think we're gonna do like this. Yep, that looks good to me. That is how we are gonna do it. So we are gonna tape this down. Get a lot of tape on here because this watercolor paper can be hard to stick together. We want this to stick to the glitter paper, which isn't the easiest to get things to stick to. So we're just putting a lot of tape on there. And then we're gonna tape it down here to our glitter paper. Get that on there as straight as possible. I'm not good at getting things nice and straight. I used to obsess about it a lot, but now just having stuff a little bit off center, that just adds character to my creations. So we're gonna just keep going. Apologize for the background noise. I am not one of your fancy YouTubers who has like their own studio. No, this is just my craft room in my house, my regular person house. My craft room was like the dining room in this house, but we really don't need a formal dining room. We are not fancy people. We eat in the little table area near our kitchen. So instead of a fancy dining room, I have a craft room, but that also means I get some background noise. And quite honestly, we just have to work around it. You know, I'm doing these crafty videos not because I think I'm going to become a famous YouTuber, but because I enjoy crafting and I enjoy sharing my creations with people. So I don't want to spend hours editing stuff and making it super fancy. No, we're just going to go. We're going to roll with it. We're going to deal with the background noise, and we're going to keep crafting. Because the time spent editing a video, although it would make it like look nice and polished and such, that is time we could spend crafting instead. So we are going to spend that time crafting instead of making it look nice. And if people prefer professional videos, there are plenty of YouTubers out there that do the very professional polished stuff. But that is not my channel. I mean, honestly, I should have gone with a name like Everyday Crafter, because this is just everyday stuff. We're not fancy. Oof, stuck it to my fingers. No, I don't want it stuck to my fingers. I want it stuck to my card. Let's try to tuck that extra adhesive under there. Alright, so now we have our first level mats for everything done. Now we're going to mat our little sentiment pad. I don't know what you call that. Our sentiment block. There's probably like some fancy design name for it. Our focal feature. I don't know what you would call it. I'm sure we can make up some words. I'm going to do 2 stitched, 1 with the little bars. Again, using more tape than I need to just to make sure it sticks. Because glitter paper, it could be fussy. And I need to stop rubbing that because even though we gave it time to dry, if you look really closely, I just smudged it a little. So we need to make sure we don't rub this one too much with our fingers. And then, so doing that bleeding tissue technique, it was a bit frustrating. I'll do a video where I get it right. I have a video from my Twitch stream that I'll upload later that shows me getting it wrong. The bleeding tissue technique does not work with tissue from the dollar store, which is kind of funny. The cheap tissue does not bleed. I had to go to Michael's, buy the expensive tissue, and then, oh, it bled. It bled all over my mat. It bled all over my fingers. My fingers are still dyed, even though I even soaked in the bathtub today. But no, I still have this dye all over me on that bleeding tissue. It bled. So there we go. You can see on my mat, this is from the bleeding tissue technique. Now, the maker that I follow that got me into Close to My Heart, she did a Facebook live on it earlier this week, and hers came out perfect. Hers looked absolutely beautiful. Hers is stunning. It is like a work of art. Mine, well, you see my results here. Mine is more abstract. It's more a hint of art rather than art itself. But you know what? When I see new techniques, I try them now. It doesn't matter if I think I'll use it again or not. I try it at least once just to do it. And I've learned some cool stuff, and there's been stuff where I thought I didn't like it, but then I tried and I turned out to actually like it. So next I'm going to pop this guy up on this card. And these are just really old pop dots that were in my stash for years and years and years. Trying to use them up on cards because I know the card has a lifespan. We don't want it, well, I mean, it would be nice if it's still around 5 years from now, but we're not expecting this thing to last years and years. We just want it to last long enough to make somebody smile and brighten their day a little. So, using up these old guys, so it doesn't matter if a year from now it just disintegrates into nothingness. We're just going to pop this guy up a little right there. I'm your biggest fan. Let's do our next one. Try to use this kind of, there's cat fur stuck to my little dots. Got the cat fur in there, cat glitter everywhere. I don't even think I could use this piece. Let's see if we can make it work. Now, that one does not want to be, that does not want to work. Let me give up on that one. Just try that one. Do we got it on there? Yeah, that'll work. We'll do one down there. We'll do two up here like little eyeballs. Oh no, little sticky dots. Like I said, not professional, not pretending to be professional. Just trying to have some fun with it. Uh-oh, can we get the back off? Yes, got the back off. Okay. Here we go. I'm your biggest fan. A little bit of a smudge on our fan, but it's not that noticeable. Okay, let's do our last one here. Try to use up all these little scraps on this last little fan. So then after we finish this, I could throw that away and feel like, yay, I used something up. I didn't just waste money on it, I used it. See, look at that. Completely empty sheet. We used it all. Shows a little, but I don't think that's really noticeable. Nobody's gonna care. Okay, so now let's put these together. So the nice thing about this glitter paper that I really appreciate is, look at that. And yeah, I'm not sure if this is like really paper or if it's like glitter vinyl. I don't know what it is. So should we do it like this? Or should we, I think we should do it like this. Okay, we're gonna worry about that in a second. I'll do it just like this, and you can hear my dog walking around behind me. There we go. So let's clean that up a little. I'm your biggest fan. Okay, let's do our next one. These are very simple card designs, you know, nothing fancy, nothing tricky. We're gonna put this one up here. If we wanted to get fancy on this one, we could take that bottom area. We could put like a ribbon or something on it if we are going to get fancy, but I think we're gonna keep it simple today. This one we'll do like this. There we go. I don't know, should that be up or should this be up? Do we want this to be up? Let this be up. Yeah, let's do it like this. You know what? That looks a little off. So the other thing about this glitter paper, I've been able to move it around a little without ruining it, which is nice. Now, we just gotta pop these onto our card bases and we're done. So we got card base number 1. The hardest part is getting the backing off of this paper here. It's actually kind of soothing when you pull it off. It's kind of relaxing, pulling the backs off the paper once you get it started. All right, there's card number 1. A little bit of sparkle. Oh, it still looks off to me. Can we fix it? Can we make this look less off? Might be my background that's off, but I think that's a little bit of an improvement. I just really hope this paper stays stuck to the card till it gets to where it's going. There we go. There's our first card. So I am a close to the heart maker. I am a new close to the heart maker. I have exactly 0 customers of my own. I would greatly appreciate if you enjoyed this video, if you would become a customer. You don't have to sign like a blood oath or anything. Just order something from my Close to My Heart store. That would be great. Show of support. That would make me very happy. It would help me earn a reward, and you don't have to keep buying things from me. You can buy one thing from me. I get my reward. We both go our separate ways, or you could keep buying stuff from me. That would be great too. But I just really like the stamps and the products from Close to My Heart. That's why I signed up. I like playing with their stamps. I like the size of their stamps. I like their kits. So I was buying a lot for my personal use, and you get a discount if you sign up as a maker. They also have a VIP program, so If you spend a lot of money on close to my heart stuff, you probably want to be a maker. If you spend a more moderate amount of money on close to my heart stuff, you become a VIP. Every time you make a purchase, for the most part, you get a 15% credit to use on your next purchase. So they keep you buying stuff, but you get a discount on your next purchase, which is nice. You get 15% of what you spent on your previous purchase back in like close to my heart dollars. I don't know what they call them, credits. So if you buy, $100 worth of stuff, you're a VIP. They give you $15 in credits on almost everything in the store. I think there's a couple exclusions where you don't get the credits, but I don't know off the top of my head. Like I said, I'm new to it. But if you find yourself buying stuff, you might as well sign up for their VIP program and get your 15% back. And then if you buy $50 worth of stuff and you're a VIP, you get the stamp of the month set for free. If you're a VIP and you don't buy $50 worth of stuff, you get that stamp of the month for $5, which is still a pretty good deal because the stamps are usually like $18.95. So instead of $18.95, you get them for $5 being a VIP. If you're interested in being a VIP, please contact me or sign up on my page and we could go over the benefits together. And, once I start getting customers, if I start getting customers, I plan on doing like monthly kits and stuff where I'll give you different, layouts and card sketches that you could do with your supplies. Anyways, yes, please support me. Please buy something from my store. That would be so nice. Greatly appreciate it. Forever in your debt. We will be friends. So here are the 3 cards we just made. And we're going to add those to the 3 from earlier. And just such a cute little stamp set. I'm really enjoying it. The koala, he is still my absolute favorite. The fan, as you can tell, is really cute too. Well, I think we're going to wrap this video up. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed spending some crafty time with me in my chaotic craft room. And please join me again. You could hit subscribe. That would be great. You don't have to subscribe. We can still be friends if you don't subscribe. It's all right. I will talk to you later.